All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video of United Math and Science. And today we are going to be talking about how to convert a number from percentage format to decimal format, and as well as how to convert from decimal format back to percentage format. So a common misconception that most people have when first learning about percentages is that they think that 100 is equal to 100%. And let me just tell you that this is simply not true. And the reason for that is because we treat the number 1 as a whole. And so therefore, the number 1.0, that is equal to 100%. Now, one of the things that we have to realize is that in order to convert from a percentage to a decimal, what we do is that we move the decimal 2 units to the left. So in this particular case, where 100% is equal to 1, for 100%, the decimal is right here. So the decimal would be right here. And what we do is this. In order to convert from percentage to decimal, we have to move the location of the decimal 2 digits to the left. That is in that direction. So to convert 100%, which is equal to 1, what we have to do is we have to move the decimal 1, 2. We moved the decimal a total of 2 digits to the left. Now the decimal is no longer here, it is here. So now that the decimal is here, let's erase all of this. And we can also erase the percentage symbol. So if I can redraw the decimal right here, that would be right here. And we can add a 0 right next to the decimal so that 1.0 is equal to 1.0. And once again, we did the exact same thing right here. So the decimal is right here. And in order to convert it from a percentage to a decimal, we move the decimal 2 digits this direction to the left. So 1, 2. Now that the decimal is right here, we can add a 0 immediately to the left of the decimal. And what we're going to do is that we can erase all of this. We can erase the percentage symbol. And we can erase the 0 right here. And now 0.1 is equal to 0.1. Same with this one right here. 1% is equal to 0.01. And how did we get from here to here? Well, the decimal is right here, and we moved it 2 digits to the left. So 1, 2. Now the decimal is right here. We can add a 0 immediately to the left of the decimal. And right here, there's another 0. And we can erase the percentage symbol. And the decimal is right here. So now 0.01 is equal to 0.01. And for this one right here, where we did the opposite of the other 3, where for this one, and this one, what we did for those 3 was that we converted them from a percentage to a decimal. In this case, what we want to do is that we convert it from a decimal back to a percentage. So let me just write 100 right here for a little bit more space. So for 100, that is the same thing as 100.00. And now that we are converting from a decimal to a percentage, this statement right here will be inverted. So let me just make some modifications to this statement right here. So now we are converting, instead of converting from percentage to decimal, we are converting from decimal to percentage. Here, instead of writing the word percentage, I'm simply going to put the percentage symbol right here. And here the word changes from left to right. So, in order to convert from decimal to percentage, we have to move the location of the decimal 2 digits to the right. So what we did in this case is that we converted from decimal back to percentage, and the decimal is right here, and moving the decimal 2 digits this way to the right, 1, 2. Now that the decimal is right here, this number 100 becomes 10,000%. If I can erase this percentage symbol right here, so now this is exactly the same and therefore equal to this. Now let us do some practice problems. So what we're going to do now is that we are going to convert each one of these percentages into decimal format. So for A, 120%. As you can remember, in order to convert a number from percentage format into decimal format, we have to move the decimal 2 digits this way to the left. So therefore, for the number 120, although the decimal point is not written, it is right here. And moving this decimal number 2 digits this way to the left, 1, 2, gives us 1.2. And so therefore, 120% is the same thing as 1.2. problem B, 250%. Once again, what we do is that we move the decimal 2 digits to the left. Here's the number 250. The decimal is right here. We move it once and twice. So now the decimal is right here. And so therefore, 250% is equal to 2.5. Question C. %. So for the number 3, for the number 0.3, the decimal is right here. We move it 2 digits to the left. So 1, 2. The new decimal location is right here. And as always, we always have to write the 0 to the left of the decimal point. And this extra gap right here is also filled by a 0. And so therefore, 0.3% is equal to 0.003. Now for question D. $0.75. And once again, what we want to do is that, just like how we calculated the other ones, we want to move the decimal 2 digits this direction to the left. 1, 2. And the reason for why we do that is because we are converting from a percentage to a decimal number. So the decimal is now right here. And as always, we want to write the 0 that is immediately to the left of the decimal point. And this space gap right here, we fill it in with a 0. And so therefore, 0.75% is equal to 0.00075. And that is how we convert a number from percentage format to decimal format.